Ya no me olvido de ti, de que lo hicimos aquella noche. Fue mentira y que yo te amaba. Pa' sentirlo
Well, perhaps getting into the closing stretch of his career, the Venezuelan-born but based in Italy, Samuel Gonzalez, who's won 22 of his 28. He has got 6 defeats on the ledger, but he's only been stopped in one of those, and that was 6 years ago when he was caught cold and stopped in a round. 3 of those 6 defeats have come against unbeaten prospects too, so he's got a good record, and it gives you some sense of the confidence that the handlers of HOVHANNES, Bachkov, hold him in, that they throw him into this sort of competition early on in his career. So that's the man, Gonzalez, who is the test tonight for Bachkov.
Tú no te mereces que te falle. Él no te lo hace como yo, y ese es el detalle. Dime que tú quieres que te vaya. Callao que no se entere nadie. Tú no sabes cuánto yo te adoro. Tú eres mi princesa, mami, tú eres mi tesoro. Si no te valora, mami, pues yo te valoro. Porque siempre quiero darte con las 4 manos de oro. Tu diablo, tú eres mi kilo y yo soy tu Pablo. Te moja cuando te...
And now please welcome his opponent from Armenia, HOVHANNES Bachkov.
Well, really looking forward to seeing HOVHANNES Bachkov in action. There he is, proudly holding the flag of his country, Armenia, and he took that pride and flag with him internationally on the elite amateur circuit for nearly a decade. We saw him win plenty of medals as well. European gold 3 years ago in Kharkov, Ukraine. I was out there. I saw him win that, beat Luke McCormack along the way of Team GB, and also Luke's brother Pat. He beat for the Rio qualifying tournament out in Turkey. I was there that week as well. I remember seeing him in action on both occasions. A couple of World Championship bronzes as well. Very, very talented, and he's compact and neat in everything that he does. Looking forward to seeing. At the age of 27 now, he turns 28 in a couple of months in December. Maybe relatively late to be turning over, but he's got the skills, no doubt about that. Interesting to see how he gets on tonight.
Dubai, MTK present 8 3-minute rounds in the super lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Shahzad Jainab. And in the red corner, wearing the black shorts with the silver trim, weighing in at 64.3 kilograms. He has a record of 22 wins and 6 defeats. 13 wins coming by way of knockout. From Venezuela, now fighting out of Milan, Italy, Samuel Gonzalez. And his opponent fighting at the blue corner, wearing the white shorts with the black trim, weighing in at 64.6 kilograms. An outstanding amateur. Tonight he makes his professional debut. From Gümüşhane, Armenia, HOVHANNES Bachkov.
There we see good shots of the fighters warming up beforehand, but now they're going to go at it for real, and I'm really intrigued to see HOVHANNES Bachkov in action. Saw a lot of him from ringside in the amateurs at a couple of those big events, and I suppose he's what you would describe as a box fighter, Barry. He's the kind of guy who likes to do his work up close. He's very, very technical, decent puncher as well, and he's up against a slightly rangier, taller opponent in Sammy Gonzalez tonight. So I think it's going to be an interesting clash of styles, but really looking forward to seeing Bachkov. There's a control and method and science behind everything he did, certainly in the amateurs. We'll look forward to seeing whether he can translate that now, relatively belatedly, I suppose, about to turn 28.
Yeah, and this in this era, they seem to turn pro straight away. But yeah, but also because of that vast amateur experience, as we're seeing over these top class amateurs, they're fast tracked, and you see that now. Boxing a guy who's 22-6 in your debut shows the ambition they have for him.
I think he's got the style to progress and make the transition, Bachkov, from amateurs, elite amateurs as well, and he was one of those, to international competition as a pro as well. Let's see how he gets on. There you see Bachkov marching forward in range behind that high guard. It's the kind of style that I expected from him, but everything he does, he throws with a precise authority.
You can see there, you see how he steps behind that jab, really steps behind it, doesn't he? He puts everything into it. I see that, he puts everything into it, but he still looks nice and relaxed, actually. Just that body mechanics there, just a little turn of the hips and the shoulders, and the step of the front foot.
See what I mean beforehand, though? He's kind of going to be in range. That's where he likes to do his stuff, Bachkov. So he might have to rely on the guard and some upper body movement.
But he showed a little bit there, just as you were talking, just showed a little bit of a body movement for the first time. And as he's going through the levels, you need that more, because being a stationary target for some of the bigger hitters will get you into trouble.
Good jab, isn't it?
Yeah, really good, really is.
He almost, even with a jab, you see him punching right through the target.
And Gonzalez is letting his hands go. We sort of think that Bachkov allows it, almost wants you to let your hands go.
Good body shot. Everything he throws is just a little bit of menace and purpose to it.
Shots.
A couple of crackers put the combinations together there for the first time, Bachkov.
Well, the second left hook was a whipping shot, but Gonzalez took it really well, to his credit.
You say he's been in against sort of unbeaten prospects before. He's been beaten, but it's not been easy to budge. But that left hook was a good shot to the body there from Bachkov.
Gonzalez just trying to push Bachkov back now a little bit. See if he's as effective. Being pushed back now. Bad little uppercut there, either there. Oh, he felt that there, didn't he? You see the legs dip a little bit there with that left hook.
Oh, to the body again there, Bachkov as well. Every shot is thrown with purpose. He's good to watch, isn't he? Making the transition pretty smoothly so far. Well, we said right before the first bell that he does have a style that is suited to the pro ranks. When you see him fight now, Barry, you're amazed that he had the success that he did as an amateur.
I was just thinking that. I was going to say that, because yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it, with that stationary sort of, he doesn't have tremendous head movement, but he walks forward behind the high guard. You can't see, but obviously he carries enough pop in his punches to make people wary of throwing theirs. I guess that's what it is. Yeah, but see, he threw a lovely 2 left hooks in a 3-punch combination that Gonzalez took, especially the second left hook, and Gonzalez took it, didn't even blink. It was just that later on there he took a shot and almost made him a little bit wobble on the legs, but he just turned the screw, didn't he, in the last sort of 30-40 seconds there, Bachkov.
Into round 2, fantastic start, that really good first round, eye-catching, pro style to watch. Bachkov just jutted back there by a return jab from Gonzalez, who's trying to meet him head on at the start of the second round.
Sort of chopping right hand there from Gonzalez, missed with the first 2 punches, but committed to the combination and paid a little bit of a reward there with that little right hand.
He did beat some good guys in the amateurs. He beat Pat McCormack actually in that Rio qualifier I mentioned in Turkey in 2016. Pat, who I think if you were to do a pound for pound amateur list in the elite amateurs, I think GP's Pat McCormack, he would be right in the top 3, 4 or 5, I think it's fair to say. Ivan Baranchik, of course, involved in that crackerjack of a fight in the bubble at the MGM just the other weekend. He beat him 6 years ago. And Fazlidin Ghebnazarov, who won the Olympics, didn't he, in 2016? He beat him 6 or 7 years ago as well. So he competed in the amateurs against some of the very best, and here he is now as a pro early on.
Uppercut there from Gonzalez.
He's come out with a bit of purpose in the second round, Gonzalez. 3 successive left hooks copped by Gonzalez, but he did come back with a shot of his own, and he is trying to meet fire with fire.
That's the shot that's going to work for us. Nice work there from Bachkov. The jab that Bachkov has is a lovely shot.
He doesn't waste much, does he?
No. It takes a lot. I know they're all cuffing shots and he blocks most of them, but...
Well, that's what you're thinking going forward.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he's going to be great to watch. Enjoy the ride, folks.
That was good work from Bachkov there. A little step back and then a little roll to the left. Very subtle though. Almost like it looked like he just moved, but he actually moved and took a little swipe to his left-hand side, making Gonzalez miss. Good shot, lovely left hook. Again though, well taken by Gonzalez, but it was a beautiful shot on Bachkov.
A couple after the bell from both of them, but fair play to Gonzalez. He really came out with a purpose, and he asked a few questions of Bachkov in round 2.
Well, what you're seeing here from Bachkov is he's using that physical strength, and obviously his technique is a little bit better than Gonzalez. So Gonzalez was really busy in that round, but is Bachkov making him work hard by staying close, by keeping that front foot in your stance, making you throw lots of shots, blocking most of them, and you have to take a few. I think we'll see what it's like now in the next couple of rounds if that continues, how Gonzalez copes with the pace, because in that round I thought he did pretty well there, Gonzalez. So again, the better work did come from Bachkov.
And interesting, of course, straight, with Bachkov straight into an 8-rounder. So, it's a statement of intent again with the opponent, the number of rounds. I think with these elite amateurs, you are afforded, I think as a manager promoter, you're afforded that luxury to do exactly that. Not everyone's a Lomachenko, of course. You're thrown into world title fights after 2 or 3 bouts, but this is a good starting point for Bachkov. It's no rollover. It's not one he's going to steam through. He might yet do so with shots like that.
So a great start to this third round here, Bachkov.
The jab is fantastic. It's a power shot in itself.
Yeah, and he's using a bit of distance between the two now as well in this round. That's been the noticeable difference. And I wonder whether there was a tactic just to make Gonzalez work hard, especially in that second round where Gonzalez did really well, making him work really hard, throw a lot of shots without having massive rewards. And now we're starting to make him pay for it every time he misses now here, Bachkov. That's lovely.
Putting them together, isn't he? Those combinations, finishing with that left hook, starting to get through here. a pro's trick there from Bachkov.
Thinking he's doing it, and he's doing it on the blind side of the referee. So
if you missed that, it looked like he was just holding in with his left elbow. It looked like he was holding in the right glove of Gonzalez on the other side of the referee. Good right hand gets through from Bachkov too. Well, it was a busy second round from Gonzalez. He got on the front foot, and it looks like he was trying to meet Bachkov head on. And now Bachkov having the say in this third round.
good body shot there from Bachkov. Everyone clapped the left hook to the head, but I think that was blocked from Gonzalez.
What he's doing up close, Bachkov.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's constantly adjusting. When they're holding on, he's making sure he gets his arm inside.
Almost like wrestling moves.
Yeah.
Again, a nice combination. He took it well, Gonzalez. Kind of put back in his box there, wasn't he, in round 3? This is a good matchup. This guy, Samuel Gonzalez, I think has got the ability and the sturdiness and the will and the appetite, at least, to ask a few questions of Bachkov tonight, which is exactly what I suspect the Bachkov team want, and I suppose you as fans want to see as well.
I've seen guys on the verge of all title fights take easier fights than this, as fights preluding to a title shot. Gonzalez is trying to win, isn't he? He's being competitive, but the quality in Bachkov's work is a notable difference.
Again, trying to get on the front foot. Bachkov again now, as he did in the second round. Gonzalez trying to meet him head on. And so far in this fight, you can see exactly the conversations that go on between corners and their fighters in between rounds, because you've had a response from each fighter on the back of the successes of the other fighter in the previous round. It's exactly, boxing can be kind of chess-like in that way, not chess-like how people imagine in terms of, you know, cagey or just tactical, but in terms of response and technique.
Well, it's quite important, see, when you have a bad round, or no, it was bad, when the other guy has a good round, that you come out and match that in the next, because having 2 good rounds, that momentum swing, in the pattern of the fight, is very hard to change. So psychologically, we see it in every sport, of course, but boxing is notable because you're getting punched. So even if you don't win the round, sometimes just to make him work hard or change the pattern, just so you're a little bit more competitive, so you're still in the fight.
Oh, nice uppercut that from Gonzalez. That just squeaked through. Maybe a low blow on the blind side of the referee squeezed in as well. Some of those straight right hands, lead jabs to the body have been good from Bachkov too. He's been made to work though again in this round. Actually quite like, I like watching Bachkov anyway, Barry, but actually when he just takes that half foot maybe back out of distance and just gives him that little bit of space to operate, he's almost more effective there, it seems.
Well, he had it in the last round, didn't he? He just maintained a little bit more space, and then he could rattle his punches off a little bit cleaner and crisper. And also, you can see more when you're not really too far away. But if you're too close, you can't really see what's going on. Take a little half a step back, and you've got a better vision, and and ultimately can produce better work.
Good stuff again. And this is exactly the kind of start in the pro ranks I think that HOVHANNES Bachkov needs. Moving on beyond halfway then out of this round, and again there was a spirited response from Gonzalez, but overall the good work coming from Bachkov once again.
Yeah, and it's a really ambitious fight to take for your first outing, isn't it? It's not quite Lomachenko ambition, of course, but it really is. It's better than what, like I said, it's better than what you see most guys who are fighting for titles take in between title fights.
Loma Lopez, October 17th, just round the corner, Barry.
What a fight. You cannot smile. Every time someone mentions that fight, it just puts a smile on your face, just thinking, what a scrap. Whichever way you see it. And I think most people would probably go for Lomachenko, but Lopez is... When we talk about Lomachenko being tricky, like Lopez is absolutely a nightmare. The footwork that he has is tremendous.
And he comes with great belief and brimming confidence, and on the back of a career high, spectacular knockout win as well. He believes in himself, even though...
And power, and more importantly, natural size.
Indeed, indeed. I think the recent check weight, they were both about 6 to 7 pounds above the
but
135.
But one's walking around like that, and the other one's working hard to do it. That's the difference there.
Absolutely.
Lomachenko's still a featherweight. He's just moved up for competition.
Absolutely. To test himself, push himself, and some say the biggest test of his career. That's coming up, of course, on ESPN, October 17th. Hope you enjoy. Meanwhile, we're enjoying this in Dubai. HOVHANNES Bachkov in the white trunks with the black trim up against Sammy Gonzalez, who's in the black or grey or black trunks with the sort of silver. And Bachkov, very, very talented amateur, picked up a series of World Championship and European medals, fought the best around. Actually, across the Atlantic, Kishon Davis, of course, really, really talented young prospect. Lots of people were hot on him for Japan 20. Had the Olympics gone ahead, he beat Bachkov in the semi-final, the World Championships in Russia last year, before losing to Andy Cruz, the talented Cuban, in the final. It was Andy Cruz who beat Bachkov in Hamburg 2 years previously in 2017 in the semis too. So that's the sort of company that HOVHANNES Bachkov, who's probably significantly in front here, was keeping as an amateur. Now he's turned pro in his debut.
There, he's the one doing the tying up, so Gonzalez is the one, you think he'd be the one with all the experience, but it's Bachkov doing all the tying up, and it's Gonzalez having to use the head then to get himself out. A nice uppercut there from Gonzalez.
He landed one of those in the previous round too. Oh, that's a good body shot. Left hand to the body. I think that hurt Gonzalez. He's just slightly lost his shape, Gonzalez. He tried to land a low blow of himself with a intentional, because he was just leaning over. It's getting a bit dark now, isn't it, as we head down the stretch.
Oh, lovely there from Bachkov. Looked like he went to throw a left hook and just turned into an uppercut there at the last minute. Again, though, I just think he's getting a little bit too close. I know he wants to push back, he wants to be aggressive, use that physical strength he feels he may have over Gonzalez, but he was having more success when he just got a little bit more gap between the two.
I wonder how much that body shot took out of Gonzalez. Maybe we'll see in the next round. round of the whole fight. Whether that's because they're both getting a bit tired. It's been a good pace, hasn't it? Throughout the 5 rounds so far. That's the first of them that they were literally toe-to-toe, head-to-head, and he was just a bit scrappy. Another round for Bachkov, I think it's fair to say. Did you give the second to Gonzalez, Barry, and maybe everything else to Bachkov? Would it be fair to say?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's been, yeah. Gonzalez has done some really good work. It's just that it's a massive test, it really is. I still can't get my head around it. For your debut, the box a guy of this experience and also a decent, as we see, a decent little fight in his own right.
More importantly, Gonzalez coming with the will to win, the desire and the approach to try and make it pay. He went for the uppercut again. He landed 2 of those up close in the previous rounds. I said he's been in pretty tough. Good right hand, that short right hand from Bachkov. He's been in tough, Gonzalez. He has lost the 6 times, so he gets through a right hand of his own. Suddenly, maybe the defence is not quite what they are. Perhaps just getting a bit weary now into the closing rounds, and some of the bigger shots starting to land. He was out in December in Spain, Gonzalez, and he lost over 10 rounds to Jonathan Alonso, who's actually won 19 of his 20. A couple of years ago in Mexico, he was up against an unbeaten Kazakh, only lost that by split decision over 10 rounds too. So he is used to going the distance. He's used to being in the other corner against prospects with records. So this is nothing new, and you can see he's not fazed by it.
Well, he takes a good shot as well. You can see that because some of the shots he's been caught with and he hasn't really blinked. I'm not saying they were knockout punches, but they were punches to make you worried.
He's just maybe becoming a bit more ragged. Some of those jabs, but just 3 or so jabs in the last minute from Bachkov, and just he's not hurt him. He's not been hurt, Gonzalez, but there has been a reaction. His body's just sagged a little. The energy levels are dropping. Good uppercut there from Bachkov too. They are starting to get through with bigger shots now.
The movement there from Bachkov was brilliant. Took a skip to the right, skip to the left, and then just turned his body to throw the uppercut. All close to the target as well, so it's hard to see where he was coming from.
It was better from Bachkov as well. He almost teased a mistake. He almost made Gonzalez lean over, lead off, and put himself in a vulnerable position. Didn't quite work out.
Good jab there from Gonzalez.
Yeah, he wants it, doesn't he? He's not getting it, he's losing, but he's still putting in a shift, Gonzalez.
He's much better from this range, isn't he? Bachkov.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Good round from... I just thought maybe in that round he was starting to get through, Bachkov. A couple of really solid jabs. And Gonzalez just maybe listing a little bit in that round, maybe just.
Shows some good foot movement as well here in this round. Bachkov, again, a close moving round the target, not so much too far out, but he was spinning round, pivoting on the front foot, looking at different angles to throw that uppercut and the hooks. And as always, Gonzalez always looking to fire back after he's been caught. I just think
seconds out, round 7.
Better quality work there from the debutant.
Final couple of rounds into round 7. Then HOVHANNES Bachkov probably winning 5 out of the 6 so far, but it's been a good, solid start to his pro career. He's been asked a few questions by Gonzalez. He's always been looking to put Bachkov under pressure. He's tried to meet him head on, but just a sense Bachkov starting maybe to chip away and wear his man down.
And showing a good engine here as well, Bachkov. You know, this is his first fight. I was going to say it's his first 8 rounder, but it's also his first fight. And however hard you train, the actual, when you're in there for the first time doing a longer distance, you can sometimes feel it.
There's a sturdy look about him too, Bachkov. Keeps his shape well, and he looks like he's landing the punches pretty much the same as he was in the very first round. Oh, nice right hand there from Gonzalez.
And again, it's good work from him. Good shots, couple of good right hands there from Bachkov. We've got to give Gonzalez credit. He's never felt sorry for himself, even when he can cope with good shots. Always stay composed.
Oh, fantastic. That's what we saw a glimpse of towards the end of the previous round, where Bachkov just kind of lured Gonzalez off balance. He made him pay that time.
I think he threw a right hand there and then backhanded him with the same shot.
I think he did.
Didn't he?
I think he did.
Which is not allowed.
Well, everything's going his own way, isn't it? And there's no need for that.
Cheeky so-and-so. If you wanted anything to set a fire under you, it would be someone doing that to you.
Yeah, I think he's feeling the pace a bit now, Gonzalez, and the weight of the shots and the number of them that have landed too from Bachkov.
And it's just amazing to say it, isn't it? So the guy who's had almost 30 fights is feeling the pace against the guy in his first fight.
And coming on strong.
Yeah. He's gutsy. I think he's really gutsy though, Gonzalez. He's always looking to have a go back.
Yeah, he'll get himself some work, no doubt about that. It's a really good match. Really good match. So one more round to go then.
Corners 10 seconds.
Here we go then, into the 8th and final round.
Final round.
It's been a really spirited contest, really hard fight too. Gonzalez has always been in it, getting the thick end of it, in truth, for most of the rounds, and losing, but he's always been in it, he's always been trying, he's always been asking questions of HOVHANNES Bachkov.
But if Bachkov doesn't fight for the European title now in his next fight, he wants to pack it in. He wants to pack it in.
And that a playful remark from former world champion Barry Jones, but it is testament to the sort of level that Bachkov has been pitched in on his very first start. This is an idea of the sort of confidence that his team have in him. We've had a few talented Armenian fighters who might have ended up in different countries. Of course, Arthur Abraham ended up in Germany. Victor Chinian, of course, Vanis Motorossi, with that heritage as well. And here's another off the production line in HOVHANNES Bachkov. I think he may have just lost his balance there. I don't think that was a knockdown.
little push with the shoulder there, wasn't there, from Bachkov?
He's had some moves, hasn't he? Besides
Yeah.
the boxing, there's just been little things, you know, that tying up front.
There's an experience to his work that shouldn't be there. Good shot, good lovely left hook. That stiffened the legs there to Gonzalez.
Who's on the back foot, and Bachkov latched onto it. He's tying up Gonzalez, are they? For the very first time in the whole fight, he's not firing back. And that gives you an idea of the weight of that shot. There's the jab getting through. Body shot as well from Bachkov. One to the body too. Bit of an assault here from Bachkov.
Just feeling the pace himself here, isn't he, Bachkov? And understandably so. Two big flurries there, and he thought he'd hurt Gonzalez.
Good jab. Absolutely no doubt he's done some wrestling in his time. Bachkov. So easily transitions up close, doesn't he? Good finish. Really good last round that from Bachkov. And a terrific start. A really compelling watch to his pro career. And I think loads of people will be looking forward to the next step and the adventure along the way. He gave it a right good go tonight, Sammy Gonzalez. And plenty of promoters will be popping his name down in the black book.
Yeah, not for debuts though.
No, not for most debuts. Not for most debuts, but this wasn't an ordinary debutant, I think, in the other corner tonight.
I boxed a guy who was 3-0 with 2 knockouts on my first fight when I was a 18-year-old.
Which is stiff enough.
Which I thought was great, but this just puts a whole new light on it.
No doubt there'll be other guys around the world be expecting this guy to be making moves quickly, that might fancy his style as well. There'll be particularly some of the actual boxers around will be thinking, yeah, I could make him miss, I could make him pay.
Well, you see at times he looked quite flat-footed because he's always looking to walk forward, and every now and again he showed some fleet-footedness around the target when he was looking, like as the rounds went on, in the middle rounds for sure. He was moving around the target, he showed a little bit of fleetness to his, so you could see all of a sudden
Ladies
why he
and
was a decent
gentlemen,
amateur.
after 8 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 80 to 72 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, HOVHANNES Bachkov.
Bachkov pretty wide, and I think that's fair enough. Largely, I think we gave the second round to Gonzalez.